If you're a short-term rental host, you've probably already felt it. Prices are down, bookings are slower, and competition is at an all-time high. So what's going on? And more importantly, where is the market heading in 2025? Stick around because I'm going to break it all down for you. Hi, welcome back to Invest with Jim, where you'll find real estate information that no one else is sharing. I've been working with short-term rental hosts in Las Vegas for years now. If you're feeling that 2024 is not hitting the same like 2021 or 2022, you're not alone. Today, I'm gonna walk you through what's causing the shift and what I predict for 2025. Let's take a quick trip back to 2021 and 2022. Golden era of short-term rentals. Back then, it felt like every listing was a hit. Nightly rates were between $300 to $400. And for high demand weekends like New Year's, hosts were making as much as $1,000 a night. And these are for very like average homes, by the way. These aren't your party mansions. Occupancy was very high and competition was very low. And life was really good if you owned a short-term rental. So what's changed? Why did things feel so different in 2024? One word, oversaturation. Short-term rentals went viral. Everybody was watching TikToks, Instagrams. Everyone's like, be a host. It's so easy, arbitrage. You don't even have to own the house, just rent one and then sublease, and like all that came out. Everybody rushed into the market to become a host. People that were buying homes before the interest rates shot up in 2022, I mean, you can still make a really good cash flow because your payment was low still. But once the interest rates doubled, it definitely decreased the profits at that point. If you think about 2021 and 2022, it was just post-pandemic. There was a lot of remote working still. A lot of people were living their life because things had gone from a shutdown to opening up. So a lot more traveling was happening. But you know, you come to this last year, we've gotten back to kind of our new normal. People are not traveling as much. And then you have all these people rushing on these platforms to list their homes for rent too. So what we have is a classic oversupply, lower demand situation. Right now, there's currently 14,890 listings of homes on Airbnb right now for the Las Vegas area. So for Clark County, their gold number was around 2,800 licenses, all right? I mean, that's so much less than the 14,000 that's actually on these platforms right now too. So that's another one of the problems with short-term rental rates, not just the oversaturation, but it's the requirement for licensing in a lot of areas. Or I know nationally, there's a lot of cities that have started licensing requirements. Some cities are just not even allowing it, period. But in Las Vegas, they started the licensing requirements. That has definitely added a barrier for people to try to get into it. But it's like, what kind of regulation or enforcement are they doing? Because if there's only a couple thousand licenses issued and there's 14,000 people doing this, how does that all work out? So there's people that are doing it unlicensed, right? At some point, they're probably gonna be reported. They'll be forced to stop. They're either gonna have to convert the house to maybe a long-term traditional rental or something. A lot of people have kind of pivoted and done these midterm rentals. That's a really hot word right now. That's basically 31 days or more. 30 days or less is considered short-term. Or there's a lot of people that are saying, well, you know what? I'm just gonna exit this market and go to a place that allows me to do this. Those are the effects that we're seeing with the licensing requirements here. And furthermore, I think the licensing requirements is just adding additional costs for a lot of the hosts, which maybe it's not as profitable as it was before too. So you're seeing people exit the market as far as a host in Las Vegas too. And by the way, if you want a little summary of rules and regulations and licensing information, please click over here. There's a video with information regarding that. Let me just share a couple numbers with you. So we're gonna go back to 2021. So the average nightly rate in 2021 ranged from $300 to $400 per night. And the occupancy back then was about 78%. When you go to 2024, our occupancy rate has declined to 56% and our average nightly rate is only $257 now. And here's a really telling number. In 2021, the average nightly rate for New Year's Eve in Las Vegas, it's the place to be, right, was about $1,000 for one night. This year in 2024, New Year's Eve is only going around for about $500. So that's about 50% of the nightly rate from just 3 years ago. These big high cost dates, whether they're conventions, concerts, New Year's Eve, holidays, spring break. These major days and holidays are really important for hosts to make a lot of their money because you look at occupancy, it's not like you get this nightly rate 7 days a week. There's a lot of times where people are just coming in for Friday night, leaving Sunday. Those are 2-night stays actually. So you got to think about that. You have to make up a lot of your revenue that you want on these big nights, right? And if you can't get as much for these big nights, it's just going to bring your overall profit down for the year. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and you'll find this information useful to you, please give me a like and subscribe to this channel. Now back to the video. So 2024, it was a little rougher, but where do we go from here? What do we expect for 2025? First thing, the cleanup is coming. Not every STR host is gonna make it, that's for sure. If you're not adaptable, you're not watching the nightly rates, you're not giving a good product for people to rent out, you're not maintaining things, you're not providing services, or if you don't have a strategy of what you're doing, you're not gonna make it. And that's gonna cause some of these hosts to exit the market, which would actually decrease the supply, which hopefully will help stabilize the market. Smart hosts are gonna stand out. So if you're offering a great service, you have great reviews, a great profile, a lot of amenities, and overall value is what people are looking for, right? That's the big difference between 2021 and now, right? It's like before you can put up anything and it's probably gonna get rented. Now, it's like you need to stand out a little bit. It's kind of similar to the real estate market, right? Any real estate agent could list a house for sale in 2021 and you're gonna get like 10, 20 offers. Well, in 2024, it's not so easy to sell the listings anymore. You have to adapt and bring value to the consumer that you're looking to sell to. I don't think money will ever be as it was, but if you're smart and you're strategic about this, there's still profits to be made. Diversity matters too, all right? If you're running one STR and you're entirely dependent on that income source, it's gonna be like a roller coaster. It's gonna be up and down, it's gonna be shaky. If you diversify and let's say maybe you have other rentals, maybe you have some traditional long-term rentals, maybe you have a midterm rental, having more investments is gonna stabilize your income, all right? You don't wanna just have all your eggs in this one STR basket, if you will. So if you're willing to adapt, 2025 can be a very strong year. The market might be harder, but it's not impossible. The host that treats this like a business and makes upgrades will be the one still standing. So what can you do to prepare for 2025? Here's my advice. Level up your listing, spruce it up. Maybe you need a new coat of paint. Maybe you need to update some furniture. Maybe you just need to invest in professional photography. Just don't cut corners anymore. Focus on reviews. Reviews matter. I know when I travel, that's the first thing I do. More so than the description even, right? I would look at people's reviews and what they say about the property. It's important to find ways to get the best reviews from your guests. Check in on them, provide them little goodies. Be a great host so you can get those 5-star reviews because that really matters. If you do get some feedback that's critical, don't be defensive, respond to it in a professional manner and in a way of, oh, thanks for bringing this to my attention. I will definitely address it. I appreciate the feedback. I will make those improvements. Pricing strategy is very important. You got to do your research. You have to know what are hot weekends and what are slower weekends, right? You have to adjust your nightly rate because it could be the difference between getting a booking and not getting a booking. It could be $10, $20 difference a night. If someone's staying for multiple nights, that really does matter and it does add up. So can't be the same nightly rate Monday through Thursday and then you jack them up Friday and Saturday. Like, no, be strategic, mark all the 3-day weekends, anything that's coming into town that's like special, that's gonna bring a lot of people in here. You just have to be very involved and plugged into this. You can't just set it and then forget it. If you do, you're gonna miss out on bookings. And just remember to stay flexible. If your house is just sitting vacant, maybe offer specials for last minute bookings and look for technology to help you. Dynamic pricing software, or you're using AI driven messaging. It could just be ways to touch up in photos or something like that, but use those tools. It's gonna help you in 2025. Or think about other guest types that you can rent to, right? Everyone wants to rent to traveling nurses, right? But in Las Vegas, there's a lot of construction going on here too. So there's work crews coming in from, Arizona and all these places like that. They need a place to stay, right? In real estate, this is how I found use of it. I've had clients where they needed to sell their existing home and then they wanted to buy a new home and the new construction needed time to be built, right? These midterm furnished rentals are a great way to help those type of people, right? Because they sold their house already and they just want a place to stay temporarily in the meantime until their new house is done being built or when they found one too. So that's just an idea, but stay flexible. There's all types of ways to do this. So So here's my predictions for 2025. I think occupancy will improve slightly, hopefully, because I do think that people will exit the business because it's not as profitable as they thought it was going to be. So hopefully that would stabilize the market and pricing a little bit. I think nightly rates will be steady. I don't think they'll go much lower than now because it's going to be hard to profit if you keep going further and further down. If you're a host already, there's always that person that is like, tries to list their home like for $60 a night and just killing the market, right? You can't do anything about that. Just stand out above those type of people because they probably don't have a very good property, and that's why they're just offering it for so cheap. So if you're feeling stuck, let's talk, all right? I've talked to a lot of STR hosts that are like, Jim, what other things can we do, all right? I'd love to talk to you about your situation specifically. Reach out to the number on the screen. Let's make a time and let's talk about how we can make more money through real estate. If you're watching and you are a short-term rental host, please leave me a comment. Share a little bit about your story. You know, have you seen nightly rates drop? Have you seen occupancy drop? If you're serious about succeeding in 2025, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss my next update. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.